happening, sports fans, man? Trent the Great up in the building. And I'm here to talk, man. It's a special edition of my little old bullshit ass show called Sport-ish. I'm gonna just talk some ish. It ain't really, I ain't really getting into nothing crazy. I'm gonna talk about something, man, that, affected me and affected the world maybe 20-some years ago. And it was the murder of rap's greatest star, Tupac Shakur, whom at the time a lot of us really looked up to, and it really fucked up a lot of people when this brother died. Well, anybody who knows, Pac was a wild nigga. He was a wild boy, and I think that he suffered from mental illness, which was unheard of to talk about at that time back then. So anyway, Pac was born. His mama was part of the Panthers and whatnot. So Pac saw a lot of things, and his mama had drug issues. All that affected him. So as he grew up, he became a rap star, and so forth and so forth. Well, I remember, let me get like this. So he winds up signing with Death Row. He winds up getting killed in 1996. He died on September the 9th. I think he got shot maybe a week before that. Something like that. So I remember sitting around with some cats, maybe about 20-some years ago, and we were talking about Tupac, and everybody was thinking like, well, shit, is he alive? Is he dead? Whatever, people actually believing that he was still alive. And this was 2 years later. And I was like, and I started believing this shit. Like when he died in September, I was like, well, shit, man, is he still alive? He's still alive. Shit started happening, and then Biggie died maybe 6 months later. Now, see, that's the shit that triggered it with me. I said, now, if he was alive, he would have said something about that. Because Pac was the type of nigga, he wasn't going to bite his tongue. And he didn't like Biggie at the time, and Pac probably would have said something like, that's what the nigga get. You know what I'm saying? Fat motherfucker, he'd have said some shit like that. And, excuse me, but that's what knowing Tupac, from the way that I read about him, never met him, but, from what you see, that's the shit he would have said. I can almost guarantee that. You know what I'm saying? So I started saying, well, shit, that nigga dead. I was like, man, they found, what's this, man? No, this is after Saddam Hussein. I was just gonna say, I was arguing with a nigga one time after they found Saddam. Like, I said, nigga, they found Saddam in a hole in the desert. You know what I'm saying? So if they can find him, they can find Tupac. They find niggas for child support in other states. And you think they ain't gonna find this nigga and he was out on parole? Come on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just shit, you had to start thinking and being sensible about shit. Plus the judge signed off on the death certificate and all that, the coroner and all that. Them legal and binding certificates. So it all didn't make sense. Anyway, let's get off into it, man. Tupac met, what was it? Oh, him and Tyson. It was a Mike Tyson fight. Him and Tyson was real good friends. Pac told Tyson, hey, look, I'm going to come out there and see you fight and see you whoop this nigga, whoever he is, Bruce Seldon. Tyson was like, yeah, man, come on out, Tupac, man, matter of fact, man, make me a song, man. So Pac wound up making him a song. And it's a banger too, I don't remember the name of it, but Pac made it, and I think Tyson came out to it. But with all the hoopla of Pac getting shot that night, nobody was even talking about the song, because it would have been like played on the radio. Anyway, so they fly out to Vegas. What happens? Oh, so Pac and all the guys, they go to see the fight. Tyson knocks the dude out. Pac, he all pumped up, probably full of that old liquor, you know what I'm saying, and whatever, and he amped up, and he ran all his niggas. They run into one of his partners, No, excuse me. One of his partners see one of the niggas that allegedly snatched the chain from him and his boys at the mall, because there was a bounty on death row chains at the time. You know, Crips and Blood shit, along with external beefs. You know. Anyway, so they see the nigga and dude point him out. Now, when the nigga tell Tupac run up to the nigga, boom, knock him down. You know what I'm saying? They go to kicking on him, boom, 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 boom. And they rush everybody out. You know, they rush them all out. So Tupac wind up going back to the hotel, and he's with his fiance, Kadada. I think her name was Kadada Jones, which is Quincy Jones' daughter. He was engaged to her at the time. I think, yeah, they was gonna get married. He all hyped up. Yeah, you know, Tyson knocked this nigga out. I'll knock this nigga out. You know. So he changed up, and it was like maybe he felt something. I don't know. But she was gonna go with him. He's like, nah, stay here, cause anything happen, I don't want it to happen to you. Yeah, so he changed up, jumped in the car with Suge. They bounce. They go into their club, Suge's club at the time, called 662, which is actually which was in Vegas, and he owned, and Tupac was supposed to perform that night. You know, Mike Tyson was gonna be there. A lot of celebrities were gonna be there. A lot of people who was at the Vegas fight was gonna go to the club that night. So I can just imagine how hyped that bitch was gonna be. So, but along the way, this is where the story gets twisted, you know. This is where everybody started talking about, oh, he was assassinated. Oh, the government shot him. Undercover cops. You know, rival rappers. I mean, and which truly, it just looked like, hey, you jumped on this dude at the casino whose name was Orlando Anderson, after we found out later, nicknamed Baby Lane, who in the past had a few bodies on him. You know what I'm saying? So you done jumped on a gangbanger who ain't here to play, you know? So now the question is, all these theories, like, was he there like as a decoy to lure them, or, you know, or whatever? Because they were allegedly there on the behalf of Puffy, because Puffy, like I say, back to the bounty, the chains on the bounty, and Puffy wanted, hey, them niggas taken out because he was scared for his life. Well, old boy and them saw him, allegedly. Well, no, it ain't allegedly. The uncle of Orlando Anderson, Keefe D, came out and he told the whole story allegedly. He said, look, man, we saw them niggas. We was there to get at them. We went to the club. They weren't there. So we were riding around. He said, and we were about to leave. And we didn't even see him. Well, people and girls and everybody start hollering, oh, that's Suge, that Tupac, la, la, la. So they be like, there them niggas is right there. Now, I ain't never been in no gang. I ain't never fucked with no gang members. No disrespect to them. But all I know is, when you fuck with a nigga and a nigga who will pull that trigger, you gotta be ready at all times. And Pac just, hey, he got caught slipping, you know. I mean, they just got caught slipping. So they see the niggas roll up on him, and let them have it. Pac winds up going to, they rush him to the hospital. You know, he's fighting for his life. And I remember the doctor coming out maybe sometime in a few days or something, like saying, well, he's going to be all right. We kept hearing stories because the internet wasn't like what it is now. And hell, I ain't even had the internet. I ain't even have a computer. You know, and cell phones went out. So nobody knew. We just had to go on news and the radio. So the doctor comes out, he's going to be all right. Oh, he's not doing too good. Oh, he's going to be, and it just kept flipping like that. Then finally come to find out, you know, he passed. You know what I'm saying? I remember crying. I remember seeing niggas, I was going to the store drinking 40s at the time, watching niggas crying, you know. And so anyway, come to find out that his mother told him to let him go. She didn't want him doing all that to her baby. And that's a hard thing to see or to hear. You know, because that's a strong woman. But, you know, it goes back to my point. I don't even know if I finished that story earlier about when I was up there talking to them cats. But it goes like this. People were saying that this brother was alive. But from people who were there and reading these transcripts and reading these stories and listening to people on the internet, people who saw him and were genuinely upset and crying, like Yo-Yo when she said she walked in there and his head was swole, his body was swole, you know, he couldn't talk, you know, he was shaking, he had staples all over his body. I mean, he was shot up to shit, you know, and one of his fingers was blown off. I mean, it was almost like I'm never. Sometimes somebody's passing is a blessing, and what I mean by that is the fact that Pac couldn't have been Pac anymore. He couldn't have been that live wild nigga. He wouldn't have wanted to live. I just can't see him want to live like an invalid in a wheelchair, shit bag. Somebody got to change you. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? You done got shot up again. You can't perform. You can't be the person that you want to be. I mean, that's a hard thing, man. That's why you see some people. I know a cat a few weeks ago said, man, I ain't taking chemo no more. Let me go. I could see that with Tupac because he had that kind of soul in him. You know, that kind of strong will. But, yeah, man, I mean, he was in pretty bad shape up there. So all them rumors about him being, you know, alive, you know, out. I mean, shit. The nigga must have healed up dramatically and said, hey, y'all, I'm here now. But in this age and this with cameras and everything, what I'm saying is people still talking about this nigga alive. And I'm talking about niggas my age. And one of you niggas out there, you know who I'm talking about, and you need to be ashamed of yourself for saying that shit. Because you by my age talking about Tupac alive. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, and you know who I'm talking about, nigga. You know. Anyway, Tupac is dead, you know, because he couldn't be quiet this long. You know what I'm saying? He just couldn't. He made a lot of them songs in advance, and he told some of the outlaws, look, if I die this way, put the songs out this way. If I die this way, put them out this way. And anybody who knows something about business know that is a brilliant, well, something like that is that's marketing. And in that case, it's a brilliant brilliant strategy, and especially with somebody like Suge who said, "Oh, I can milk this until whatever," you know. But yeah, man, that's just, you know, I wanted to drop that, man. I was feeling that in my spirit, listening to some of that old Pac, you know, and I was listening to him and Richie Rich. We say, I was shot and murdered. Can't tell you word for word, but best believe that niggas gonna get what they deserve. You know what I'm saying? And old shit. Big road, you know what I mean? But the tongue is powerful. You know what I'm saying? He could have spoke up on his own death. I don't know. But we still got his legacy, his music, and all that. And I'll never forget the brother. So anyway, I'm Trent the Great, man. Want to drop that gem. It's a little bit longer. I'm trying not to exceed the 15 minutes because I got to do a whole bunch of shit with that. Excuse me. A whole bunch of shit with that. Now, I'm finna go and fuck this Subway sandwich up, goddammit. I'm telling you, I want them to send me a check because I fucks with them niggas. Anyway, but I'm Trent the Great, man, and y'all have a blessed day, and I'm out. One.